that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So it is important that the leaders now and in the future do understand it. And I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers, of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, defending the poison of critical race theory being introduced into our military universities and across the ranks of our armed forces. This comes as a Pentagon contractor is reportedly investigating extremism within the ranks, where if you oppose the violence and racism of Black Lives Matter, you are red flagged. Joining me now to weigh in is retired United States Air Force Brigadier General Robert Spalding and America First Policy Institute co-chair of the Center for American Security, retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. Gentlemen, just honored to have you both here, and thank you both for the service to the country. A report on the fighting culture of the United States Navy Surface Fleet, which was commissioned by members of Congress, was written by retired Marine Corps Lieutenant General Robert Schmeidel, I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery. What it found was shocking. Fully 94% of personnel surveyed said they perceive a lack of leadership as well as a huge cultural problem throughout the sea service as being responsible for accidents involving Navy ship collisions. Some of those were deadly. Now, guys, I'm talking to enlisted, commissioned reservists, retired folks. They're telling me the same thing. The woke critical race theory instruction is compromising readiness and cohesion. General Spalding, are you hearing the same? And how can we stop this?
Well, I have not been hearing the same, but of course I don't talk to a lot of members in uniform very often. I will say that in listening to General Milley's comments, one of the things I do understand about critical race theory, and I've studied it, is that it is racist. It's a racist ideology based on something called applied postmodernism, which really takes the objective scientific method and really the Enlightenment period, where we moved away from the Inquisition and really became a society based on facts and truth and the scientific method. It really takes that and discards it and says that the way we talk about objective truth in the scientific method is in fact itself a racist ideology meant to lift up and maintain the power of the white race. And so critical race theory, by its nature, is designed to be a racist ideology. And I'm concerned that, he would make those statements and not understand what CRT is actually meant to do.
General Kellogg, your thoughts on this back and forth that has developed over the weeks between former President Trump and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Mark Milley?
Yeah, well, first of all, Chris, thanks for having me on the show. I do appreciate it. Look, I think Mark has crossed the line on his behavior out there. Here's what I'm talking about. There's civilian control of the military, and that's absolute. I really believe in it. I strongly believe in that control out there. And the senior uniformed military just kind of needs to keep its mouth shut when you get into this area. And he should step back and instead of talking what I believe to be seditious behavior on his part, he should understand what his role is in the military. And he's got three primary roles, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs does. It is to provide professional military advice to the president, professional military advice to the National Security Council, and professional military advice to the Secretary of Defense. Those are all, very important roles that he has. He doesn't have any other role. He doesn't command any troops. Those troops are all commanded by combatant commands who report to the Secretary of Defense, a civilian. The chiefs of the services, the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Space Force, all report to respective civilian control, civilians that are both appointed and confirmed by the Senate. And he doesn't have a staff to control any of those forces. So when he gets out there and talks like he's talking out there, that is kind of seditious behavior that I believe is very, very critical to undermining command and control. There's a Uniform Code of Military Justice article. It's Article 94. And I'd suggest everybody read that. I'd also suggest that military officers go back to their oath of office, which is support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And then read the Constitution and what Article 2 says. Yeah. The Article 2 of the Constitution is very clear. The president is commander in chief. as a civilian. And they need to remember that. And they shouldn't get out on a limb in talking about coups or insurrections or talking about a political leader's supporters by calling them brown shirts or Nazis or anything else. I think he's just credited his position as chairman of the Joint Chiefs. My opinion is, and I've known Mark for a lot of years, he should either resign or they should remove him, but they won't. It falls into the Democratic talking points, and it's a huge mistake.
Gentlemen, I wish we had more time because we need to get into Afghanistan. I'm hoping I can call on you guys again because that troop withdrawal is underway, and hope we can get you guys back on very soon to talk about that. Appreciate the service to the country, gentlemen. We'll speak again.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.